Hey sluts and trolls, it's me, Please Notice Me, with a boring reaction video to Chief Littleflower. She's been really irritating lately since she moved into whoever's house she's living in, somewhere probably in the suburbs of Texas, and I don't think it's her daughter because of the decor in the house. So let's see what her latest video has to give us. Let's go.
It's Patricia and Landon Regali coming at you from a private, undisclosed place somewhere in the great United States. So, Happy New Year, everyone! At the time of this recording, it is January 1st, 2023. So,
I love how she always dates everything. She's like, coming at you from a hole in the ground. It is the 14th of March, 6042, and I'm still crazy. Ow!
I've actually been working on my case. And, I have to say something. If you are a private investigator, and especially I'm referencing Dick Tracy #1.
She accused me of being Dick Tracy #1 once, and being Barbara. But I'm no longer Dick Tracy #1, and I think she forgot about me.
Dick Tracy #2. I know you guys are like this. And so I'm looking at Dick Tracy like the spot #1, looking at him like the spawn of Satan. And now I'm realizing that Dick Tracy #2, you guys are probably the same elk. I mean, you guys do business.
Are they elk, or are they reindeer? Good question.
Dealings together, and I know for a fact, I know for a 5D
Maybe they're mooses.
fact, as I see it, that you both were collaborating to, waste me, to unalive me.
So the thing about these fucking targeted individuals, and I was having this conversation in comments recently about how they think that they're the most special people on earth because they're so targeted and everyone's watching them, and everywhere they go there's the same red car or the same license plate from Indiana or whatever the fuck it is that they believe is the thing that's happening to them with the gangstalkers. But the truth is that like they don't want to accept that reality is boring and that the world is kind of boring and that they themselves are average and boring, when actually it's kind of liberating. So maybe just accept that life is average and boring and that you are average and boring, and try to enjoy life and stop pushing everybody in your entire life away from you every goddamn day, every time you open your mouth.
Try to liquidate me as a person for my for your sudden wealth payouts. I have children.
Oh, she thinks that people want to steal her blood and her organs because of her blood type, because apparently it's the same blood type that was found on the Shroud of Turin. Again, she's just like, she's an angel. She's descended from Jesus. She's like a high priestess. She's just amazing, you guys.
Children that I love. And I've been a very wonderful mom to them. And, they were there.
I really don't think so. I really don't think she has, because she's told the story about kicking her kids out during the pandemic. She has 2 kids, and they seem pretty normal from what I've seen on her Facebook page and whatever. But imagine this being your mom, and like being in your early 20s and like trying to become an adult, and this bitch kicks you out because she thinks you're freeloading. And then she got evicted from her apartment and she owes 12 grand. So she's been floundering for a couple of years now.
They don't recognize it. Well, that's on them. And then I just want to say to everybody involved in my case, and if you guys had made if you believed the hype, if you
What's up with her pants crotch? Look at that.
believed the slander, the character assassination, especially somebody called of a higher order with authority, and you guys believed that shit, I want to say, the fuck is the matter with you, bitch?
She's so rude. For somebody who's like enlightened and whatever, she's so psychotic, rude, small-minded, and weird.
First of all, you take in and you weigh in your observations, and then you weigh in your assessments from extrinsic parties. But how I have to say this, it is absolutely negligent, absolutely lazy as fuck to not even do a personal interview with the subject at hand. So, it does.
People have asked to do interviews with her in the past, but she demands that you read like a stack of crazy people books in order to be able to interview her, because she wants to try to brainwash other people into believing that gang stalking is real in order to have a conversation with them. And that's just not going to happen. Like, I've even tried to reach out to her in comments in the past and say, hey, I think you might need some help. And she's like, no, I'm not on drugs. I'm not whatever. I'm fine. It's the gang stalking. Like, she doesn't actually want to communicate. She just wants to, like, yip dog her diatribe at you. Like, get off my leg, you tiny dog.
It doesn't matter if somebody had lied to you about whatever, X, Y, and Z. At the end of the day, every person is accountable for their own information. And God forbid you're a police officer. God forbid you are law enforcement. And you just went, the first person who goes to, slander somebody is the one who fucking gets the right.
She's so crazy. When has she ever had a conversation like that with a cop? All of the interactions she's had with cops were them trying to convince her to not squat in public parking lots and stuff, and to get help, and they got her like social services. She never took the social services that the police brought to her in Oregon or Washington or whatever fucking state she was in. She never actually took the help. She just finagled money out of somebody to fly back to Texas so she could be taken care of like a goddamn bald little baby that she is.
Of who's held in high honor? That's very negligent. And I'm going to say this. I would not hire you to find a dead dog.
Dog.
Especially if it was when you really loved and you wanted back.
What?
I mean,
I think she doesn't understand what she's saying there. That look in her eye, right before she looked back at the camera, was kind of like, oh, what was I trying to say?
to say that I am rather put out, yeah, sure. My whole life has been uprooted. The fact that I have been made a government experimentation.
It's because you didn't get help for your mental health problems after your mother died, and then your entire life unraveled, and you probably started doing meth or some other kind of fucked up drug. And here you are. It's really fun to be able to blame all of the problems in your life on an imaginary stalker, or gang stalkers, or group stalkers, or police, or the government, or the white glove holocaust, or whatever else she's gonna fucking government grubbers, Citizen Corps, Infraguard.
And you clown idiots back in the woodlands, back, I say McCullough Highlanders. That was the high school I graduated from, class of 1989.
Quit doxing yourself.
My age. I realize that.
Girl, you look crazy for any
And
age.
plus that, I do walk amongst multiple generations, and so I'm very comfortable amongst multiple generations. It's not my fault that I'm very plug and play that way.
Gross. I don't ever want to hear her say that phrase again, that she is very plug and play. Ugh.
And so there are a lot of jealous ass bitches out there. Not my
That's
fault.
me.
Anyways, McCullough was the senior high school at my time, and the Highlanders was our mascot, so to.
They always want to dox themselves too. Like, it's really not hard to find her. I mean, look at all the contact information she puts right on the screen. I mean, you can look up her name. I guess you could email her. I've never emailed her. I've thought about it, but what's the point? I'm not here to I don't know. I'm not a screen or glass tapper or whatever. I've been in her chats before, and she's addressed me when she's like in super mania, but I don't really I don't know. I don't like to get super involved. I technically do not consider myself a troll because I don't actually troll people.
You know, class, the institution's representation, which is very unusual because most high schools have animals, were the
Hmm?
McCullough Highlanders. So when I reference the Highlanders, McCullough Highlanders, I'm talking to you all fucktards who have decided to become sniveling, groveling.
Oh, loading to little flower disc. What am I trying to say?
Treason, treason,
Treason.
liars, thieves, murderers, all for what? Flipping
It's the season for the treason.
blood coin? Oh, and you guys, and don't even get me started on the Indians on the at Tulalip, freaking Indian reservations that roll over the land over there too.
Hmm.
The law enforcement and the such. I mean,
The law enforcement and the such. So she's mad at Native Americans for rolling over the land to the. Okay.
our ancestors are rolling over in your grave, and then you come
Our ancestors are rolling over your grave, but she is not Native American. Her mother is Asian, and her dad was white.
at another Native American in the treason circuit of the
Fucking race faker.
slandering machine it is, and even decide that you have the right to run your sideways psychotic game on anybody, let alone another goddamn Native American.
Shut up, bitch. I also love when she does that Bjork thing, that. It's great.
I wash my hands of all of you motherfuckers.
Good, they're happy.
And in love, forgiveness. I mean, I forgive all you red bastards. I do.
Yeah, you really always flip the bird to people that you love and that you forgive. Especially if they've never done anything to you, never met you, don't know you, don't care about you, aren't even related to you.
But right now, I'm just going to. You're in my office. I am a hierophant, and for some of you, I will be Miss.
I don't think so. That's not your office. That's somebody else's house that you're squatting in on their kindness. And their kindness, just like everybody else's, will only last so long until they realize that this is how you want to be. You think that you're so special that you don't have to work, that you don't have to find your own place to live, that you don't have to take care of yourself because you're a targeted individual. So you get to just like leech off of everybody around you, leech off the system, get food stamps. Because you won't get mental health help so that you can hold down a job. She's just blaming her problems on external things when she should be taking responsibility for herself and dealing with her own problems.
Mr. Milosevic, hey, remember Mr. Milosevic? Fuck you guys. I'm gonna turn you all over, bend you and paddle you right here between now and eternity.
Ooh!
What the fuck is the matter with you people?
Everything.
Y'all are supposed to be the generation to set the examples. And instead, you guys are teaching these younger kids that it is okay to hold out to their principles and then abandon morality. So,
What does she think the world is like? Like, I know that we're like living in a time where people have a lot of weird assumptions and they have fantasies that play in their head about what life is like for people who are like diametrically opposed to them culturally. There's not a lot of like, I don't know, compassion, empathy, understanding, curiosity. But she just straight up makes up fiction. Just straight up fiction and just pretends like it's true. There's like a secret war and she's like the linchpin of the entire thing.
you guys can play your dirty little psychological mindfuck games on people for your coin? What the fuck?
I don't make a fucking dollar off this shit. Bitch, and look at my pause game.
What's the matter with you?
Everything.
I have stood and witnessed to all of this.
No, you
And then
haven't.
I have stood as a goddamn punching bag to survive it all. I have eaten every goddamn brick thrown at me. So, I mean, when you're in
That's obvious by the state of your teeth, bitch.
Auschwitz, you're gonna have to survive the Dr. Mengele malarkey.
Oh my
You guys
God.
are.
Her and God, the pause game is just on point right now. Her and Rev and Shani and all these people who are fucking obsessed with Nazis. Targeted individuals are into Nazis and calling people Nazis and considering things that they make up in their mind Nazi propaganda and tactics because there was group stalking or something used in World War II. I haven't done a lot of research on it, but they like to utilize World War II and MK Ultra to give legitimacy to their claims, and it just sounds so stupid when they say it.
Jumped head first in. Fuck you guys.
Mm, okay.
But I do pray for your alignment, for you guys to find prosperity that way. Because if you do, everything else falls into place. But if
How would she know? When she did have prosperity, everything fell apart. She acts like she knows what she's talking about, but she really doesn't.
you don't, what good are you?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I do forgive you guys in full endorsement of karma. Everybody has a misconception of forgiveness. That forgiveness means, oh yeah, you can go, no. You don't have to deal with any outcome for your piss poor behavior.
That's not true. I think most people who talk about forgiveness and try to give forgiveness to people that have hurt them or wronged them are actually doing it to let go of the stress, anxiety, and pain that's caused by mulling over the shit that people have done to you in the past. So it's a way for you to let go. Other people are going to do what other people are going to do, and that's something that you learn as an adult. You literally cannot make anybody do anything that they're not willing to do. So that's what forgiveness is about, little flower, not about this like weird agreement you've made with karma and your ancestors to like go after everybody you think is wrong to you.
That's where I'm like, I don't know what's on the hearts of men and women. That's why I wash my hands and turn it all over to karma and whatever karma decides. As per the Most High, I fully endorse wholeheartedly. So I'm all like, but as it is, shame on you for believing any of the slander and character assassination on anybody.
But what she just said was like, people are pieces of shit and they do everything wrong and you're supposed to forgive them, but not just to let them go do stuff. And now she's just saying that again, like, oh, you're a bad person and da-da-da-da-da, you're horrible. Shame on you. Like, her philosophy and her mentality has no clarity. There's like no basis that she's coming from. It's just all random, and anything that makes her feel powerful in the moment and makes her somebody who's correct in her own mind. Nobody else thinks she's right.
Especially without coming to talk to the person involved. Because when you decide X, Y, and Z on somebody and hold it against them and not even tell them, but you're still out there running your fucking mouth with your goddamn gossip.
Bitch, I will run my mouth all day. That face.
That's gossip.
Isn't that a Lady Gaga song? That's gossip. I think it is.
Okay, there's venting. If you talk to me and it don't work out, what does the Bible say? Most of you guys don't know. And if you think that was only relegated for the goddamn church, you guys are running game on your own head.
The Bible was manicured by the church. Are you dumb? She obviously knows nothing about like medieval history. Okay.
The Bible says, go to the person one-on-one. And then, if that don't work, take a witness, work it out with them one-on-one. And if it don't, we'll take them before the church. And
Oh, I think Shani and Rev talked about the same passage. I don't know. I'm smoking weed, sorry. I don't know where that is in the Bible, though.
the church can just be an institution of some sort to help be the mediator, the mitigator. And if that don't work, well then cast them aside like a Gentile.
What?
And if you try to work it out with somebody, I can see venting, okay? But if you stonewalled them, that means told everybody else except the person, well, that's the number one playbook in the goddamn Sodom and Gomorrah. That's the number one playbook.
Like, her phrasing is so weird. That's the number one playbook in Sodom and Gomorrah. Like, her speech and her concepts are so weirdly nebulous, and there are these phrases that she latches onto that she continually spits out and like reuses in different contexts. And it's just the neuron connections in her brain, the neural connections, the way they fire. I wonder what pattern it makes. Is it like the shape of a target?
That the enemy uses to target people unjustly.
I'm psychic.
So, you know what? Who cares if X, Y, and Z fucking lie to you and then you believe that that's your own goddamn fucking fault?
Well, same to you, bitch. You read stupid websites and are obsessed with targeted individuals and gang stalking, and you believe that shit, and that's your own fucking problem, okay? When it becomes our problem is when you start filming children in public, when you're going to like kids' parks and like filming your diatribes and your screeds. That's a problem for me. You need to stay inside of a car or inside of a house and not bother people because you're terrifying. Like, look at you, bitch.
Because you were not accountable to your own discernment and you were not accountable by talking to the person involved.
Do you think she talks to whoever the lady is that's letting her live with her like this? I have a feeling that she like stifles it down and tries to act really nice and pleasant, and then when whoever that lady is goes to work, this is what she does all day. Because she's like sitting on a nice bed with like a headboard and coordinated pillows, and she's obviously got access to a shower and clean clothes. This person gave her clothes. My assumption is that they're kind of the same stature as her and they're small. I think it might be an older person who is either like a distant relative in the family, or like a family friend that might be related to her mom in some way. Just looking at the decor and like the way the house looks and the way their neighborhood looks when she's outside filming. It's just my little Sherlock brain trying to be like, well, where the heck is she? Who is helping her? What is that relationship like? What's it like to have breakfast with this bitch?
And that's where you fucking put your own goddamn head on the chopping block of a guillotine.
A guillotine.
Shame on everybody for believing this slander without even coming to talk to me. And if you believe somebody's fool-ass lies, well, that's your own goddamn fault. Especially...
Well, if it's everybody else's fault, that pause. It's everybody else's fault and everybody else's problem, then shut up about it and move on. You're not actually forgiving anybody. One, because nobody's doing anything. Nobody's gang stalking you. Nobody gives a shit about you. No one's trying to harvest your fucking organs. Nobody's trying to get you to commit Sudoku. Nothing is happening in that area. But you're acting like it because you feel Sudoku-ish. You feel hopeless. You feel alone. You feel like you're targeted because your life sucks. But if you got like actual psychiatric help, maybe it wouldn't suck so bad. And you could look back on this and be like, man, I was fucked up. Maybe I should start a YouTube channel about like doing flow dancing or like the weird rave shit I used to do. Like, you probably, without all this insanity, if you just did like artistic stuff, you probably would do okay. But because you don't get any mental health help, this is you. This is your social media presence. It's insane.
If you're a private investigator, especially, God forbid, a detective. Because if you believe Barbara and all of them without even coming to talk to me, well, you suck. You suck.
Eloquent.
You suck. And I would never hire you to find a goddamn dead dog.
You couldn't hire anybody to do anything. You're the poorest person on earth.
And because of that kind of negligence, I have been on the run for my own fucking life as a fugitive in my own country.
God, she's so creepy. Like the way she literally gives me the creeps sometimes.
And y'all are accountable for that. And at this date, January 1st, 2023, how come nobody has come to bridge the ambiguity?
Yes, I was hoping she would say that phrase. That's my favorite little chief phrase, is bridge the ambiguity. I don't know, maybe my autobiography will be called Please Notice Me, Bridging the Ambiguity.
Of all of the treachery on me, when everybody fucking knows, except me. And I've had to depend on the ethers. That's because you all are still negligent as fuck. So
she depends on the ethers for her information because she won't do any actual research or admit that she's delusional, that she's got paranoid delusions. So she's going to go and listen to and make up stories about stuff that makes her so unique, special, and individual.
But when the bodies hit the floor, you got nobody to fucking blame except yourselves.
Oh, I love these little intros and outros where she's like showing pictures of herself in the past. Anyway, so that's Chief Littlebutt, and that's how she's doing. So she's doing great. She's still up to the same old shit that she used to be up to. And theoretically, if she never gets any help, she'll be doing this for the rest of her life, which maybe won't be that long if she continues to put herself in weird situations like she was when she was living out of her car. Anyway, that was just a quick little reaction while I hang out and do whatever because I'm bored and just want to say hi to you weirdos. But yeah, I'll see you later.
Por cento.